Hey Saber fans, so I wanted to do another demo video of the features and pros and cons of a Proffie board. So this is my MHS V1 with a TCS 3-watt, 4-watt bass speaker, NeoPixel, and Proffie board. So you can see that lovely NeoPixel. There we go. So as you can see, we have a lot of features here. We have power on, power off, idle hum, force effects, lockup, blasters. Another feature I really like about this is the music. So, as you can see, all of the effects can overlap other effects. So, it's just non-stop sound, motion, everything. It's super cool. And the blade styles you can have is what really drives it home.
Vengeance.
So you can have, pulsing red.
Luke Skywalker.
You can have green, which has a slight flicker.
Kylo Ren.
This one's really cool. This is a unstable blade made by Dimitri Stock. Super cool. It's just like, it's a main red base with white and orange just flickering all throughout. That's my favorite part, how it just stops and then goes down. It's so freaking cool. God bless. There are so many pros to this.
Hello there.
Now we have a audio flicker purple.
Kylo Ren.
Have the organic flame blade. Well, not organic, but the standard flame blade, which is super cool. Goes all the way to the tip. And you see a little bit of black spots here and there towards the tip from where it's, starting white and yellow, and it pulses up and then it just kind of fades away. It's super cool.
Teensy.
So this is actually Rain Sizzle.
This is General Kenobi.
Red Rain Sizzle.
Like.
So that one's really cool, the cycle on. But you can go into more blade effects like that in my other video talking about Proffie config installs. Mainly, I think it's the Proffie commission install. Yeah. So, there's so much to the Proffie. It's only barely been tapped so far as features. And it doesn't have deep sleep mode, it doesn't have color changing on the fly, but it does have regular updates. So Frederick is still working, the maker of the board. He is still working on ways to implement features that a lot of us have come to know and love, like color changing on the fly, deep sleep mode, and editing config files via the SD card. Those are three really big things, and he's working on those, to my knowledge anyways. But these things take time. Now, the fact that you can program the board from anywhere, just you got to figure it out really. It's for a Proffie and Teensy board comparison. Here's the Proffie board. Have a single board. A lot of people ask, what's the difference between Proffie and Teensy? And here's the Teensy. So for the Teensy, you have two boards connected via pin connectors. So here's your Teensy Saber V3, hard to find. Here's your Teensy 3.2, find it anywhere. And essentially what you're doing is you're connecting them with these pins. It's 2.54 millimeter pin grid connectors. Don't think I'm going to be getting it in the hole today. Screw that one. And you essentially connect it. Let me make sure I get this right so I'm not lying to you. That's it. You're essentially connecting it with those to make a sandwich, a little soundboard sandwich. I think I still have this backwards, but I don't care. And then you have your points to solder to there, your micro SD, your SD card, everything's there. So the Proffie board pretty much combines those two into one. And of course, these things are all the rage right now. Everybody wants them. Everybody wants them installed, really. But, regular updates. You have the smooth swing. That is the selling point for the Proffie board. There's no realistic experience like it on the market other than this. That's what we have. And the fact that there's a lot of people experienced in programming that is also getting behind the behind the wheel on helping program it is just an added bonus. Alex Redman, he has his own custom, as he calls it, Proffie Ultra OS. It's pretty cool. It functions, which is what I have on this. I think I still have version 1. I still have to update it to the newest version, but it functions more like a Prism soundboard. Usually whenever you have this default, tapping it is activation. It's the same thing here, but also default, whenever you press it, just one quick press, it turns it off. For this Proffie Ultra, you have to press and hold it for right around 2 seconds, then let go, and then it turns it off. A lot less likelihood of accidental activation. Lockup originally on default, you press and hold, and you have to smack it for it to start lockup. Same for drag, which is it just illuminates the tip. It's like if you don't hit it as hard, it'll activate the drag, which is like you're dragging it across the ground. On his, you press and hold the auxiliary and it will activate it, or you press and hold activation and smack it and it'll still work that way. So stuff like that, it's really cool. And the fact it's super small and about the price of a Nano Biscotti, that's the thing. It's around $70 for it. A Prism is $115. A Crystal Focus is $150. So pretty much what I'm saying there is that in my Vadersville Hero, I have a Prism 5.1. That board was $115. And my Watto's Junkyard Tusken Slayer, I have a Crystal Focus V9. That's a $150 board. This, I have a Proffie board, $70 tops. The most expensive I've ever seen a Proffie board so far is $80 from Corbanth. Never seen it higher than that. It's always around that area. You can already see all the pros. The cons, pretty much, they're going to get fixed, so they're not really cons. At this moment in time, yes, it can be a con right now, but in the future, it'll just keep getting better and better. Like, this is the future of soundboards, to say the least. Stuff like smooth swing. I'm sure Plector's going to incorporate it. I don't know about NEC. I've never been too big of a fan on NEC boards. I've tried a few of them, didn't much care for it. Top tier, low tier, whatever. That's not what this is about. This is about going over the features of Proffie. And the sky's the limit. The main drawback with it is the fact that you can't change things via SD. You have to reprogram the entire board with the new config file that you create. And it's not the same as Plector. Plector, if you want to change your blade style, you go into the override file and you change some numbers around from 0 to 1023. RGB, okay, well I want 1023.00 so I can get red. That's easy. You follow the manual, that's done. There is a manual for Proffie, but in order to change the config file and to get different blade styles, you have to reprogram the board, which involves downloading and installing Arduino IDE, downloading and installing something else, and downloading a couple other files. It's not hard. Anyone can do it, but it's the fact that it's not that user-friendly. Once these new features get incorporated, it's going to be a whole other ballpark. I wanted to do this video to answer some questions that people have had multiple times over a series of time. And I haven't seen anybody else do a video like this, so I wanted to do this just to clear these questions up. And, just comparing, I haven't seen anything before Teensy Saber V3. Whenever I scored a couple Teensy Saber V3s, you may have seen my other video with my very first Teensy Saber install. Fantastic. It blew my mind. And, it's clearly getting better. The fact that we found a 28mm speaker that can handle the power of the Proffie, is fantastic. It's, I compare it to a 28mm Saber Essential speaker running at 75%, which is this.
Indeed you are powerful, as the Emperor has foreseen.
The balance.
So, 28mm Saber Essential at 75% on a Prism, very loud. Train control system. It's very great, very loud, very crisp, very clear. Of course the Saber Essential is clearer, but you can't push it as hard as this.
Like vengeance.
Luke Scott, Kylo. This is General Kenobi.
This
Ren.
this is definitely one of my favorite things to me. That is the funnest thing in the world to do with the smooth sounds. Super cool, right? You can see why everybody wants one. But yeah, that's my general overview of the Proffie. I hope that helped. Until the next time, Saber fans, may the Force be with you always.